So we got a interesting show lined up for you today. Like I kind of know what we're talking about. I have an idea of what we're talking about. We got a couple of things on the document. We're going to start out in the world of battle rap. First of all, before we do that, how have you been, sir?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. It was one of them ones, a couple times a year, maybe one or two times a year. I do 3 battles in 3 weeks, and so this was the first of the year for me. Been busy. So obviously Salt Lake City, then the next week Los Angeles, and then this past weekend Dallas. Then I go to Atlanta on Thursday for Poets in the Autumn stuff. Come back Friday, get a rare weekend home, and then head to Vegas next weekend for 3 days with friends and family. So that should be hopefully a little relaxing. Hopefully I don't come back $8 billion in debt. But yeah, I've been doing all right, man. Not too bad. Not too bad. All 3 battles were a success. All 3 battles were clear wins. They're fun, entertaining. All 3 battles should be dropping on YouTube in the next couple of months. So that's always good to have new content to come out for people that are waiting. So yeah, that's good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Actually, let me try something here while we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I don't kill the whole stream. Let me see. Nope, it's not working. All right. Anyway, so let's get into before we get into the other battle rap news of the day. Let's start with your trip to Dallas. Shout out to Street M's. Started his own league, 3-0 battle league. Had an event where he invited all of the horsemen down, minus Oops. Shout out to Oops.
Yep.
But invited all the horsemen down and a couple of other Christian battlers to take on some of the Dallas area's finest.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how was that event? How did that go?
That was really, really good. Especially, I think this is like maybe his first event or his second event. I think he might have had an event one time before. We had some local Dallas talent. We had the Horsemen, K Jack and Jack Cobbins, and they had a surprise battle with the Noah versus DC. DC being like one of the first guys that Street Hymns ever battled. So like kind of one of Street Hymns' viral battles of him kind of popping off on Rapzilla was against DC. But yeah, it was really good. Everybody showed out. For the most part, it's pretty widely considered a 70, really. I mean, out of the 7 battles, like all the Christians won. Even Noah, who identifies as a Christian. Noah's the guy I battled in Minnesota with the line, standing in front of an animal and seeing double. So yeah, it was a really good event. It was, sometimes you're like, oh, this is my friend's event. It's definitely gonna start on time. That whole battle rap thing. It doesn't matter if it's your best friend. It don't matter if it's your event. It don't matter if they just don't start on time. It just doesn't happen. And VODs are shaky, and all of the above. Like all of the you always think, no, not my event. We don't run like things like that this way. The last 3 weeks, every event that I've done in the last 3 weeks, every league owner has been like, no, we're doing this. We're doing this. We only have the venue for this long. We have to be out by this time. And then 1 a.m. rolls around and you're battling. So Street Hymns event space was really dope. Very interesting thing about Street Hymns battle event was I would argue that 70% of the little over 100 people that were there. So I'd argue probably 70 of the people, it might have been their first time at a battle rap event.
Wow.
Yeah. So Street Hymns has a huge following from his church and just from his podcast and different things like that. There's so many people there that were new to battle rap, didn't know what was going on, which created a very different type of crowd, So as you would expect, if it's the church guys against the non-church guys, we would definitely get like a little bit more leeway with some reaction and some things that we're saying, because I don't know if like our opponents like really factored that in, because there was a couple guys that just got up there and just bashed Christianity and God for 3 rounds, and like, of course, like a bunch of church people in there are just like, oh no, they're not even being quiet. They're like, you hear it in the camera? That's sad. Oh, I'm sorry. So it was a different type of crowd, but it was also an opportunity to get people, to want to come back. And a lot of people were like, oh, that was so much fun, Yeah, I posted a clip of Matt Cobbins, and I took it from this girl's Instagram, and she was like, "This cipher that they're doing is so great," like she called it a cipher, but that's just kind of like the idea of like how it was, but yeah, no, good over about over 100 people in there. You know what I mean for a local event is really good. And no chokes, no stumbles on our side of it. Everybody come away with pretty much clean victories. And some of the Dallas guys are really good. Going into it, Streetham's opponent was probably the best. Streetham's and then Sagas. With Shuko being like he's a really good battle rapper, and Hero who just got a look on RBE is a pretty good battle rapper too. And then my opponent was switched at the last minute, a little over a week. And he just dropped on RBE on an intake battle as well. So there was some guys that have some they've done crucibles, they've done some 1SKs, some different things like that. So they had some talent, but man, once you go to these events, if you've ever been to and I don't think you have, yeah, you have, maybe you have. Have you ever been to an event where you see like professional battle rappers battling like up and coming talent or local talent? Or have you just pretty much been to like the RBE events and then like the connects, where it's like,
yeah, I've never been in that space. Actually, I would like to do that someday. I know
maybe like the Gates of
OSBL,
the Garden event or
Gates of the
something?
Garden, or like OSBL. Shout out to Kels. Like Kels has kind of like her events. I think it might be Rookies versus Vets series where like she'll have like some of the up and coming talent from that
Yeah.
DMV area take on some of the more established names. So yeah, like a Gates event. I like to take that in someday.
Yeah, you just really notice the gap. I mean, you just notice the gap in like in what it is to be like a professional battle rapper and to be somebody that's kind of like still figuring it out, And it's huge. It's huge. On cam sometimes you're not able to see it, but in the building, whether it's performance, projection, professional, all that kind of stuff, like it's huge. And so that's kind of how it was over the last 3 weeks. In Salt Lake City, in LA, and then in Dallas. It was just like kind of going down there and putting on a training course, saying, "Hey, this is what this looks like," and seeing if anybody is up to the task.
That's what's up. I'll say this, shout out to the homie Trent. He was, he was engaging in, I don't know if we call this bootlegging, but he got us some footage of yours and Cobbin's performance. And I can't, I hit Street up and I'm like, hey, league owner, I would like this footage ASAPery, please, as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But like Cobbins is dope. I don't know because Cobbins, I feel like is an introvert and a bit of a recluse. I feel like that's selling him short, even in using those adjectives to describe him. So I don't know exactly if he took battle rapping seriously and went at it full time, how far he could, what tier he would make it to, because he's not necessarily out, like, hey, I'm Cobbins and I'm dope and I'll smoke you, right? But it makes me so mad that he's that good for somebody who I don't think he's made double digit number of battles, right? Like he's only had like
probably 7 or 8.
Yeah. He's
it makes you mad. It's classic Cobbins though. I mean, we know Cobbins, and I laugh because it's like, that's just how he is. He's just a super talented human being, and then when it comes to all of that kind of stuff, you just don't know. Like even this battle event, we've known about it forever, and Friday is when he started writing, and so and it's just like I thought it was so hilarious. We get to like Shell Shack Friday night, and it's like me, Cobbins, Street, K-Jack, Saga, so like five of the guys on the card. And while we're waiting on our food and stuff, we're just going around the table like, go ahead, see if you can get through your first round. Okay, person rap. Cobbin's phone was in the car charging, so he's like, yo, you got something? He's like, man, my phone's in the car. Mind you, I hadn't heard nothing. We drove 8 hours down, and I didn't hear. I heard some, like, what do you think about this punchline? But not any like rounds and nothing. So he gets his phone back out. We go over the streets. We're up to like 4:30 in the morning, just going over lines, and he's still just kind of in his phone. It's nothing. Next day, Street wakes up Saturday. He's like, yo, did Commons ever rap anything to y'all? Right? and And I'm like, yo, I heard like 16 bars, you had some stuff or whatever, So him like, okay, all right, this is Saturday morning, and the battle Sunday night. And then pretty much all day Saturday, like he's kind of like me, he could write in his head pretty quickly. He doesn't have to write it down. He just has to put it in order. And we get to Sunday on the way to the venue, he's like tightening up his third. And then sure enough, he's just so talented that he's able to like write really good stuff and memorize it. And when you write really good stuff, like it's gonna hit, and then you're gonna have the ability to continue to memorize better. Like if people are terrible, then it's different. You can't write last minute because you're not gonna have time with crowd reaction and stuff. And so he did a really really good job. But yeah, it's like what if what if he was able to
just 1 year, just give it a year. You know what I'm saying? Battle on a couple of small leagues. I'm pretty sure. I feel like this battle, his performance is going to be pretty well received. Just give it a year and let's just see how far it goes. I mean, if you make it to like a intake on RBE, if you get a Crucible audition, if King of the Dot ever comes back, shout out to Organic. I mean, I know he said they plan to, but I'm just saying, I just want to see you grace one of those platforms. Before,
he's got the pen and talent. I mean, you're around guys like Sagaloso. Everybody's just like, you're right, and they're like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like when guys like that are saying, like, yo, that's crazy. Like what? Like.
But we love you, Cobbins. I know this is what we saw was amazing. I cannot wait to see what it looks like when it's edited and on YouTube. I can't wait to support it. So. Great job from you, sir. Great job from you. I can't wait for people to see yours for a specific reason. It's been talked about a little bit. You once it drops, you'll be able to see in depth more of what happened in his battle. But yeah, dope event, man. So let's keep it moving. Let's jump to some battle rap news. So Remy Ma, there's no place like Chrome. Shout out to Remy Ma. She announced the Grudge card going down June 17th. I'm gonna presume this is going to happen in Cakes NYC. It's only 4 battles on the card, at least to this point. All female event. And so this is headlined by 40 Bars and Yoshi G. Let's just kind of go through this card and kind of get quick reactions. So we'll start at the bottom. I'm gonna be honest, I know nothing about these first 2 artists. I'm gonna have to go check out some of their footage on YouTube. Shay Rack versus Tony Blanco. Apparently, this is being called the battle for Dot's heart or something to that effect. I need to go watch the face-off. The face-off did drop. Chrome 23, I believe, dropped the face-off. And in one of the battle rap groups, somebody goes, apparently this Grudge is over Dot. And I'm like, hey, determination over trust,
Man.
So do you know anything about them? Like, no disrespect.
I know their names, but I couldn't tell you like, oh, I remember this person's battle. Like I've seen their names on flyers, but I don't. I'm not super familiar. If they walked up and said, "Hey, boy," I'd probably be like, "Hey, what's your name?" "Oh, yeah, I've heard of you." But I've heard their names enough times to know that like they're deserving of being on a Chrome 23 card. If that makes sense, it's not just like who. Like you guys just picked somebody out of. Like these are names that I've heard and seen across my, my desktop, on YouTube and different things like that. It's like, okay, they put in enough work in the game, to have that opportunity.
So here's what I will say, at least on my end, I would do. I'll make sure to go check out some Shay Rack and Tony Blanco battles so that by the time we get to June, the weekend of June 17th, I'll be able to more intelligently speak about what they do well, what they don't do well, so on and so forth. So next up, Tori Doe, who I have heard of, and Shayna Ashley, who I also have heard of. This will be interesting because I know Tori Doe's not. Shayna Ashley's been outside a little bit more than Tori Doe over the last year or so. Man, if I had to give an opinion on a winner, I'd probably go with Shayna Ashley. Just because, again, I feel like she's been outside a little bit more than Tori Doe. But you have any thoughts before? We're going to be more well versed on these next 2.
Yeah. No, I'm actually Tori Doe's got one of the better pins for me in female battle rap. I really enjoyed watching her. I know she did a couple URL battles. Maybe they were like maybe the Kings and Queens, right? I think she might have did a Kings and Queens.
Tori Doe battled Chess.
That
battle did not go well for her chest.
Yeah,
One of his performances. So I believe that was a clean 30
yeah.
from my recollection. So
Yeah, yeah, but I definitely just remember watching Tori Doe battle and thinking like, oh, she kind of reminds me. I don't think she reminds me of Yoshi, but she has like somewhat of a pin that like I pay attention to, and so yeah, I probably would take Tori Doe. I probably would take Tori Doe in that battle.
okay. All right, let's jump to this next one. So this one again, couple of more well-established artists over the last couple of years in female battle rap. We got Caution versus First Lady Flames. This is the battle when I saw it announced that I was most interested in. Um, Caution, obviously one of the Lady Bricks from the 757, represents 757 versus First Lady Flames. Now, I do not, this is called the Grudge card. So apparently there is some backstory and history between these two. Flames also from Virginia, from Richmond, Virginia. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some backstory there. To me, First Lady Flames is one of my favorite artists in female, not just in female battle rap, but in battle rap, period. I think she's very good. If I had to make a prediction and take a winner, I'm gonna go Flames, man. I just think Caution is dope. Uh, Caution is dope, and I mean, obviously, she's had a really good, solid run in RBE thus far, making it to the finals of the Chrome 23 tournament. I feel like Flames is going to show that while Caution is progressing, I think Flames has been outside enough that there's going to be a little bit of a separation between the two in material and performance.
Yeah, I really couldn't have said it better myself. I don't know that this is the battle. Man, she's a competitor. Caution is a very, very if you what is it? Oh, thank you. Appreciate you, Los. Um, Caution is a competitor, so I appreciate that about her, but she's coming off of a battle that kind of made her look. She's coming off a couple battles where she kind of got slapped around a little bit. It was like, hey, welcome to the big leagues, with the QB Black Diamond battle in the Blue Room, and then with the C3 battle for the $25,000. And now you're battling First Lady Flames, who to me, like that's her type of setting, that cakes, that small room, and First Lady Flames to me, like I won't say they rap similar, but to me, First Lady Flames has the conviction and the delivery and just the little intangibles or whatever that Caution needed against those last couple people that she battled. And so that's why I would take First Lady Flames in this battle. But I do think it's like Caution is in a position now where like you lose 3 battles in a row, albeit to 3 names, 3 of the top women names. You lose 3 battles in a row. It's like, where do you go from there? Where do you go back to battling? People down here or what? But I think it's a very important battle for Caution. Hopefully she comes out and does well. I really like Caution, but man, this is a tough draw.
So I will say this about whether or not she wins or loses. Here's what, at least from my experience of watching battle rap over the years. Just make sure you're entertaining.
Yeah.
You make sure you're entertaining, make sure you're marketable. Because
Yeah.
I won't name any names. If you come talk to me off camera, I might give you some names of some battle rappers out here who lose a lot, who be standing up there getting smoked, and they have like a really good resume of battlers who have smoked them in every. Maybe there might be a few debatables mixed in there, but they're getting smoked routinely. But their resume is like in the last like I'll stop there. Their resume is is looking quite nice. When you look at the end of their career, you're gonna go, wait, they battled and they got what? So that's all I'm saying. So I'll let you guys fill in the blanks, or you can just tell me who you think fits the description of what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I think for her, just make sure she's entertaining. Make sure just don't die. That's it. If you don't die, you're good. And just make sure after it's over, it's 2-1 debatable. Just no matter you could have even if you do get smoked up there, just go up there and be like, I think I got third. You know what I'm saying? Like the second's debatable. I got the third, 2-1 either way. People telling me it's crazy. People gonna smoke you in the comments, but that's all about that's kind of one of those. Not all news is good news in that case. So The main event for this Grudge card event, 40 bars versus Yoshi G. I like Yoshi. I think Yoshi, when she's on top of her game, can be very hard to beat. But 40 bars has beaten some of the best in battle rap, both men and women. And if 40 comes prepared, I hate we have to say that, but if 40 comes prepared, and I feel like she's talked crazy enough about Yoshi and to Yoshi that she will come prepared, I got 40. I might have 40 clear.
I like you said, I wonder. I mean, I wonder if it's going to be in cakes. I wonder, like, if it'll be like an event where it's just kind of staff and battlers, or if it'll be like, you know, I haven't seen Yoshi on too many stages where the crowd was there for her. You know what I mean? I normally see her battling uphill. And this is another battler that you're battling uphill against. I appreciate that about Yoshi. But smaller room, maybe just battlers and stuff, she might have a little bit of a better chance. Whereas 40 like on a stage, with everybody around, and it seems to be like the cool thing to kind of be against Yoshi. So maybe with peers and battlers around, but Yoshi does also kind of rub peers the wrong way too. So I'm assuming that she doesn't really have but she's that talented. She's that talented to where she can still main event cards like this. And that says something. That says something that Yoshi is literally a supreme talent. She main events cards like this, and they're not going to book this if it's just a lopsided battle. It's not. The big thing about it is that 40 bars is probably top 3 ever. Like at her highest level. She's probably top 3. Female battle rappers ever, if you're talking about at their highest level, with Jazz, and then fill in the blank whoever else you want to put there. So. Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards 40 bars in the battle, but it would not surprise me because I think Yoshi's talented enough to beat 40 bars. It would not surprise me if she did it. I wouldn't look at it as like this crazy upset.
Yeah, and when I think about her Lady Caution performance, I don't know the demographics of the room, how many people were there to see her, how many people were on her side, like who might have been standing behind her, whatever. But she captivated that room with her performance versus Lady Caution. And I mean, that was the weekend we were in Austin when you battled
Luke Castro.
Luke Castro.
You were talking about him earlier.
Oh, what?
I'm just playing.
Hey, don't put that on my jacket, B. I ain't got. That's not who I had in mind. Anyway, let me get myself together. Yeah. Not who I had in mind though. But she took that room over, right? Caution's got Tay Rock behind her, which comes with a whole lot of cachet, and she smoked her. I mean, absolutely smoked her. And it was an undeniable performance. Even if you feel a way about Yoshi, it was a performance where you had to give her her respect. And so if she can come correct like that, even if she doesn't, I know 40 has a really, not just entourage, but her fan base travels. If she's in the building,
very much so. Yes.
And so, like, if she is able to withstand what's going to be coming her way, because 40's going to have punches that land, she's going to have stuff that lands, and that's going to get that crowd riled up. If she can keep her composure against that, it might be looking a little, when she battled, the first Chrome event, Saga's girl. My apologies, I'm blanking on your name.
Prestavia.
Thank you. When she battled Prestavia, it was looking kind of lopsided when you got all the gun titles on one side of the stage. I mean, I think even it was literally lopsided because everybody was standing on her side. Her side was empty, and so she had to fight through that. So if she can make it through that, then she should be ready for 40 in her entourage.
Yep.
All right, man. So let's get to one other event. This event, I believe, is going down this weekend. This is Easy the Block Captain, speaking of battle rappers who are league owners.
That's 3 in a row.
That is 3 in a row.
Street Hymns, Remy Ma, now Easy.
Yeah. So Easy has an event going down this weekend. The Trenches going down. I don't know if this is like if this might not be a battle league. I don't know. Maybe it's just him trying to have an event. But either way, goes down this weekend in Philly. Ruin Your Day is going to be in the building filming. So hopefully, you should expect a crisp and clean pay per view. It's going to be on Rap Grid. And so we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up to the top, at least in terms of how they're listed on this flyer. First off, you got K Walker versus Riggs.
I like that. I like that matchup a lot. I like both of those guys too. I think K Walker's had some performances that I've seen on the Straight to It. Whenever he battled, when I battled QB that night, he got really, really crazy on Straight to It. Riggs is obviously so good. I'm gonna take K Walker just based off of the Philly ties. I think he's gonna be more up for it. I think he's going to be, he's gonna write like, yo, this is a big card, easy and read. A lot of people are gonna be in the building, something to prove. Riggs has kind of been sitting for a minute though, so that's kind of dangerous too. Maybe Riggs comes with like, some really, really dope material. They both could use, a signature great performance right now. Because I mean, there's plates everywhere right now. So a signature great performance to either one of them. So I'm a lean K Walker's way.
Man, I was all prepared to take Riggs, and you persuaded me to take K Walker for that very reason. Though again, I do think Riggs, at least from a high visibility platform standpoint. Maybe he's been outside on smaller platforms in 2023, but I haven't seen him in a minute. And so I think him, like you said, this is because of the main event, because of some of those names, a little bit below the main event. It's going to have a lot of eyes on it. Obviously, a lot of the controversy around it is going to probably draw some attention to it. I think the easy versus URL thing kind of makes it like, I want to see how this goes for him, right? Like, I want to see what happens. So I think you're going to have some people who might jump in just from that standpoint. So, yeah, you made me change my mind. I'm going to go K Walker 2-1. And what I hope is a really good battle because I like Riggs as well. All right, Real Deal versus Dub the Phenom. Shout out to Real Deal getting on the card.
The Chef. Yes, the Chef, man. We're going with the Chef. Real Deal's hard to beat. He's just difficult to beat. People don't beat Real Deal like that. Since the man had to just give up his chain. He was like, look, I'm tired of like winning all of these King of the Dot title matches, like he's just really, really tough to beat. Not to mention Real Deal's from Pittsburgh, like, it's in Pennsylvania. We're talking about, just a few hours away. So it's not, I don't think it'll be too like, home court, advantage ish. And Real Deal's never been in a scenario to me where he's ever been shook, of any kind of crowd. So
Let me tell you what Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Is it 5 hours?
It's like 8.
Really? Is it like that? Like Tennessee? Because I know like Knoxville and Memphis is like 7.
Let me make sure they haven't made it a little bit more. Oh, I'm wrong. My bad. It's like 5. It's like 5. Okay. I don't know why I feel like it was longer.
Maybe I knew it wasn't like right down the road, but I mean, I thought it was
Yeah, so the reason it felt like 8 because on my honeymoon, my wife booked the Poconos, right? We had a spot in the Poconos, but like we're young, right? We haven't really, I haven't. We hadn't really traveled too much out of Kansas City domestically. That wasn't like to our like hometowns and like small town, the South. So she booked the flight to Pittsburgh. The Poconos is like an hour outside Philly, like 30, 45 minutes, an hour outside Philly. So we had to drive from Pittsburgh to Poconos, and like they were like the major highway was undergoing construction. So like every like 20 miles, it goes from like 70 to like 35 to like 35, 40, 50. And then like when it all congests to one lane, now we're stuck. And we're just so maybe it felt like 7 hours when it was really supposed to be like 5. But yeah, I'm going with Real Deal. This is completely biased. No hate towards Dub. I've seen Dub.
Shout out to Dub the Phenom. I've seen him battle a couple times. He's definitely not bad.
Absolutely. He's had some dope performances. And so, but I mean, I'm going with Real Deal. Like one of the best human beings in this culture, man, for sure. All right. So Enes versus Dot.
Man, Enes, bro. Enes in Philly. Come on now. Like, listen, I'm not taking anybody other than Enes. There's probably not anybody on that card, in my opinion, that's beating Enes in Philly, and that might even be easy to block, captain included. Like that's just how. I mean, I love Enes, man. I love the way he raps. When he raps in Philly, he has a great time. And there's only been one person I've ever seen, him beat him like in Philly, and that's Marv One. And that was a little bit outside of Philly, I think, but it was a different event. But yeah, I'm taking
No,
Enes.
that was in Philly.
Was it in Philly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So yeah, I'd say for all the reasons you listed, I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah.
Agreed. Rosenberg Raw versus Danny Myers. It's a very intriguing matchup for me.
I forgot that battle was happening. Oh wow. I'm gonna go with the Bar God. I'm gonna go with this is the first non-Pennsylvania person I've picked, I believe. Rosenberg Raw's coming off of a battle with Clips that most people think that he edged. I believe some people have it as a debatable, but I think most people got him winning the first 2 rounds. I don't know, man. Raw doesn't take anybody light, but Raw's not like a volume shooter to me.
Yeah.
And I just don't know, like quickly coming off of the Clips battle and getting like locked in for the Danny battle. And I know that he just became a Danny's opponent maybe like 2 weeks ago when we found out that True Foe wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-week notice. I don't know. We'll see how much pull Rosenberg Raw really has in his hometown. Like people really rock with him heavy. But Danny Myers can do this stuff in his sleep. Like I literally just watched him battle Alias the Addict, who's not Rosenberg Raw, of course, but a different type of opponent in LA, and he's just so good all the time,
Yeah, I need to go and watch him in Clips just for this Anthony Davis bar. We can take it wherever you want. I'm tool tucking. Anthony Davis, whenever you think I'm playing, I'm gonna pull something like that's kind of great. I'm like, yo, what? That's cool. Okay. So I need to go check that battle out, man. Like life has kept me away from battle rap from both YouTube and the app. So I got a lot of catching up to do, but I'm like, yo, like, okay, all right.
And he pronounced his name right. Normally, his best bars are mispronouncing the athlete's name.
I'm gonna go with Raw on this one. I think being home, I think against Danny Myers, I think like you said, coming off of the Clips battle, I think Raw, I think he's trying to prove a point this year. So I'm gonna go Rosenberg. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Danny takes it. And then the main event, Easy the Block Captain versus Reed Dollars.
I got easy pretty easy. I mean, Reed is one of my 3 favorite of all time. He is Philadelphia battle rap along with Enes. I'll be excited to see. I know it's originally it was supposed to be 1 round. Now it's 3 rounds, which is great. I mean, the battles that I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Reed like get up for a battle, and like even like against Rum Nitty and maybe Surf, where you might have saw like what you would anticipate the best Reed to be, maybe Murder Mook.
Surf for sure sticks out for me.
Ill Will, maybe. There was a couple rounds against Ill Will.
Yeah.
But even then, like the consistency of what Easy has done and what he does, unless he just went in there and just was like, look, I was trying to put together this league. I was trying to do my podcast. I was trying to do this, and I just threw together these 3 rounds. And I don't anticipate that happening from Easy. But, unless he does that, I got Easy winning it.
Man. Yeah, I got Easy winning it. I kind of wish it was 1 round because I feel like I feel like the first round from Reed is going to be that vintage. Like he's going to tap into that. I mean, the Philly flow, and especially
he should. This is my stuff. This is you here because of me. All of that kind of stuff. He should pull all the cards possible. You're not really from Philly. Like all of that stuff is in a tuck for Reed. You know what I mean? Like literally, the young man get under my wing. They're like, you not really from Philly. I'm from Philly. That's 2 rounds right there that are winnable rounds if you go in and talk to him a certain way.
And he's going to have to like the aggression it's going to have to be in the performance as well as obviously
Yeah.
aggression when it comes to his projection and all that stuff. We don't have to worry about that. But with how easy raps, with how aggressive he is, and literally getting in your face, barking, walking around you, like he's going to have to add that element to his game. And granted, I think Easy's probably taller than Reed. I don't know if I've ever been in the same room as Reed, but like
Yeah.
I feel like Easy's taller, but he's going to have to close that space and really like talk to him while he's trying to say, "This is my house, right? I'm the vet." Like you said, all this stuff you said about, under my wing, I pioneered your style, like all of that. Like he's gotta come with that. And like I said, at least in the first round, if he can stretch it out for two, then we might have something. We might have something. You might have to go mixtape first and the third.
Yeah.
But if he could give us some of that old school Reed in those first two, we might be working with something. But yo, that's our predictions for the trenches. Shout out to Gutta City. Shout out to Easy, man. Once again, rapgrid.com. You can go purchase the pay-per-view. It's going down this weekend in Philly. 5 battles. Hopefully everybody shows up, clipped up, ready to perform and put on a good show for the people. And I'll be tuning in. Hopefully. I don't know if my weekend's gonna be crazy, but hopefully I get a chance to tune in and watch the battles, man. So let's flip the switch.